Hutchinson, Judy Hutchinson. Hey folks, welcome back. Another special, always special edition. It's Boozing with Jude. This past weekend, we lost one of my favorites, and probably one of yours too, Sean Connery. Famous for being the first and maybe the most favorite, he was my most favorite, James Bond. You know, some of that stuff wouldn't fly nowadays, I guess, but you know what? Suave, cool, and the famous line, Martini, shaken, not stirred. So today I'm going to do a James Bond Martini for you. Now, several things to say about it. A real Martini preferably would not be shaken, it would be stirred. But James Bond orders it the other way. Why is that? And why does it need to be? Who cares, really? Well, I'll tell you what the official people say. So, and it is true. When you, the sort of rule of thumb about drinks, right, is that if it has a citrus in it, that sort of mixer, you shake it. And if it doesn't, if it's all just like alcohol, you stir it. And you stir it on ice, you know, in a pitcher, like I've done before. So if you go back and look at some of my episodes, the one where I made the Negroni, I don't know what I was thinking, but I made it wrong. I shook it, and it should have been stirred. But by and large, that's the rule of thumb. So martinis, because they're served in like glasses like this, if it's served up like you like, you know, like I like, if it's shaken, it's going to come out with ice chips. It's going to be cloudy. Now, I got to be honest with you, that's the way I like it. It's ice cold when you shake it. But that's not the proper way to make a martini. So why did James Bond, why was Sean Connery served that? And in the first time we see it, I think was in Dr. No. You don't see him ordering it, but it's delivered to him. You know, vodka martini, or maybe it was dry vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. No, and then I think twice in that film, and then another time he served a martini and shaken, not stirred, and he says, vodka? And they're like, yeah. Now my heart breaks there because I'm not a fan of the vodka martini. I'd much rather be doing a gin one. Well, the truth is, James Bond drank a lot of things, but this is what it is, the iconic drink of James Bond. So this is what I'm going to make. So I'm going to shake it. Yay, that's fine with me. In a tin, it's going to be super cold. It'll be super cloudy. And while I've seen it both with a lemon twist and I think with olives, my favorite would be olives. I think the first was with a lemon twist. So we'll do that. Now, what kind of vodka? Well, there's the question. The very first James Bonds, and that would be Sean Connery's, mostly I think they had a partnership, in fact, with Smirnoff. So you see Smirnoff Red, you see Smirnoff Black, you see Smirnoff Blue label, and I don't really even know the differences, but basically James Bond as Sean Connery or Sean Connery as James Bond, he drank Smirnoff. Later on, it looked like Stoli had a partnership with the Bond movies, and then I know Grey Goose was in one or two, maybe with Pierce Brosnan. And then when Spectre came out, they did a deal with the vodka I happen to have on hand, Belvedere. Now in the books, and I don't know if it ever came out in the movie, in the books, Bond wanted I always thought vodka was better as a rye-based vodka, so he wanted a Polish or a Russian one. Well, here we go with our Polish Belvedere, and it is made from rye, not potato, or anything else that you would make it from. So I think Sean Connery would be okay with it. At the end of the day, you know, I don't have any Smirnoff, so, you know, substitute Smirnoff if you want to be exceedingly authentic. Now, why on earth was it that way? Why did he order it that way? If it was wrong, okay? And some people say it's wrong because shaking it might dilute the drink a little bit, and you don't want to dilute the drink, not if you're James Bond, right? Because that's what the whole point is. Well, it does. It probably does because the ice will melt in there. Like I said, you'll get ice chips and that sort of thing. The thing is that Ian Fleming, who was the writer of the James Bond books and then later on responsible for the films, that's how he liked it. That's how he liked it, and that's how he wrote it in. And it makes James Bond seem a bit of an originalist. It's like, don't tell me how to order my drinks. This is what I want, man. Just give it to me, right? And I'm like that with my gin martini, not with my vodka one. So that's what we're going to do today. The question is, how much? Well, if we go back to Duke's Bar, my favorite place in London, famous for the martini, and in fact, if you walk into Duke's Bar, which is in Duke's Hotel, this is apparently where Ian Fleming And Ian Fleming was like inspired with the whole idea of the Martini and James Bond. And there is a picture, an autograph picture, right at the entryway of Sean Connery. So it's really cool. They don't measure. They make famous martinis. They don't measure. They have a glass that I finally found out is about 7 ounces. That's big. They pour it right up to the top. They put James Bond wants it dry. They put a little bit of vermouth in it, which is made for Duke's Bar. And then, they might throw it out on the floor, or they might just leave it in there, coat the glass with it. And then then they fill it up to the top. They don't shake it. They don't stir it. It's ice cold. It's been in the freezer. They don't need to do either one, so there's no dilution whatsoever. And then a nice lemon peel from a lemon from the Amalfi Coast of Italy. I don't have that. I have it from Myers, which is our local grocery store. Sorry. But, in honor of the best I can do to honor Sean Connery is James Bond. And, he ordered, I don't know if this is the first time he ordered it. I remember he did order one, shaken not stirred, in Goldfinger, with his friend, we'll just call her Miss Galore. And so he actually did order it on several occasions. And then later on in the films, but in the film Casino Royale, you see him coming out with a Vesper. I've done a video on the Vesper, but I should redo it because it didn't do a really good job. I didn't use the right, alcohols, and but it's still a really good drink. But we'll stick with this one today. So I'm making up the measurements. I'm going to take, he liked it dry. I'm just going to take a little vodka here, a little white vermouth. And in one of his episodes, in one of his films, I don't know which one, they were using Cinzano. I've got Dolan. We're going to put it in here. We're going to shake it, not stir it. So we're going to just throw a little teeny bit in. There's no point in measuring it. Of our Dolan white vermouth, since I don't have Cinzano, not even a quarter of an ounce. At Duke's, they would, like I said, they'd probably just, take the glass and just kind of coat it like that. And then they would throw it on the floor. But I'm not going to throw it on the floor. That would be kind of gross because, I got to live here. And I don't want it smelling like vermouth, so I'm just going to pour it in there. Anyways, you can do it either way you want. Teeny bit of white vermouth. And like I said, I'm using Dolan, which is a French vermouth. By the way, FYI, you should keep your white vermouths in their fridge. Yeah, because, and a lot of people just keep them on the bar, and they do go off, even though it's like a fortified wine, they go off quicker if you don't keep them refrigerated. All right, so here's the question. How much vodka? Yeah, you know what? It's up to you guys. 2 ounces would be a typical drink, but that's not going to look like a James Bond. Duke's would do like 7. They only sell you 2. I'm going to do 3. Even though, like I said, I have to drink this, and I'm not just a big, pretty much straight vodka drinker, but we'll do 3, okay? So yippee-ki-yay, Jude's going to have a vodka martini at the end of her Monday workday. But it's for Sean Connery. God love him. He was awesome. I liked him. Okay, so we're just going to put a little ice in it because we want to shake it, not stir it. And, that's pretty much it. It's not a complicated drink. Probably even easier if you're just stirring it in a pitcher, but it's iconic. So here we go. Give it a good shake. Get it nice and cold so it'll be nice and cloudy. I would love it if I was making this drink for James Bond, but I'm not. I'm making it for Judy Hutchinson. Okay. We're going to strain it in. I'm going to close the gate, as we say, which is you take your Hawthorne strainer and just push it forward, and that'll just keep it from letting every ice chip in. But I can see anyways that it's cloudy. It's not crystal clear, which is probably more what you want in your martini. So then I promised you guys I would do this in front of you. I don't know why I did that, but I'm not the best with. Don't look. I got to get it started with garnishes, and we're just going to do a rough one. I'm sure that his would be beautiful and curled and, all that stuff because, he goes to like real expensive places and, drink. So then just express it in there, kind of get it around the side, throw it in, and here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, to James Bond, to Sean Connery. I'm not even going to try to do the accent because, I can't. But it's a classic. He's a classic. We're all classic. So if you want your martini, Sean Connery style, James Bond style, here you go. Salute, or as he would say, cheers. Okay, that's a vodka martini, which I'm now going to have to drink. One of the other things I'd say is it has been, and I don't know which film, at times garnished with olives. So you could put 3 whole olives, pimentos in there, and that would be just as good. In fact, that would be my preference. I'm an olive martini drinker. I know that's probably, just kind of Americana, but hey, it's been done. So take your pick. And in the meantime, God love Sean Connery, and I hope he's up there with Ian Fleming, enjoying life, and they're enjoying some cocktails together. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me as always. Cheers.